You're listening to the RSL Random Fan Podcast, the podcast for Real Salt Lake fans of every age and level of soccer knowledge and experience, even for those who have never played the game. Your hosts are lead instigator and Real Salt Lake fan from the beginning, Brandt Goebel, Major League Soccer OG and national team lover Tyler Thomas, and the kid who keeps them all in line and the only one with any fashion sense whatsoever, Brennan Goebel. On the podcast, they share their random thoughts after every Real Salt Lake match, win or lose. Besides team and game commentary, they work to bring you the highest quality Real Salt Lake and soccer community content. Content that includes interviews with Real Salt Lake insiders, current and former players, and random fans just like you. They also talk soccer from around the world, from the U.S. men's national team to little clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal, and my personal favorite, Tottenham, and the behemoth that is Crawley Town FC. Enjoy this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast.
All right, another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast.
Sorry, I thought I'd sing that.
Now with random highlights.
What?
And what do you call those? Any special words for those? Just kind of
clips?
Random clips, random stingers. I think that's the official word for like when you have a, like your...
Or stinger or a zinger?
Stinger. Like when you take us into halftime, that's a stinger. Your musical interlude.
That's a stinger?
Yeah.
Nice.
I learned that from the Office Ladies podcast.
Cool.
Oh.
See, yeah. But they don't talk about soccer, so who cares? Anyway, we will start with the starting lineup for Real Salt Lake versus the Chicago Don't Call Us Dumpster Fire.
Ooh, nice with the dumpster and
yeah.
Premeditated.
Who wants to give us the lineup? Well, I'm your host, Brad Goebel, joined by
Brennan
and Tyler.
All right. Who is Brennan?
Okay.
Succinctly through the lineup.
So we got a unique lineup this starting. We got Beavers in goal, a back line that we're going to definitely talk about. We got Brody on the right, Hidalgo and Oviedo in the center, and Catranis out on the left. Then we got our tried and true Anelli and Ojeda in that midfield defense. And then our upper midfield, we have Gomez, Crooks, Barajas, and at the forefront, Chicho.
Chicho Rango.
So you might have looked at this lineup and thought, what the heck?
I might have thought something worse.
Something worse? And then there's a lot going on. So let's talk about the news that kind of facilitated this. So, Brandt, you want to take us through that?
The news that we don't have any center backs.
Yeah.
That
McMath was there. And
Vera had a knock.
Okay.
Justin Glad had a knock. They didn't tell us how bad. If it's just one game, they're just holding out for precautions. They didn't say they were totally unavailable. It's kind of like probable or...
But they didn't make the trip.
Didn't make
Chicago.
the trip. So
Yeah.
that's concerning. So, and the big news was Beavers. And we can talk about Beavers if you'd like. I have some thoughts about that.
For sure.
I love Beaver.
But McMath was there. McMath was there. Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're just moving on from that one. And
I like Beavers, man.
On the bench was Chang and Luna and Quinton. For those of you who don't know who Quinton is, he played against us last week.
That tall blonde.
For Columbus Crew, the tall blonde kid. And then we signed him midweek, and then he played for us this week.
Do you know what's my favorite, though? If you were to go onto his Instagram profile,
yeah,
he just barely posted like a thing of him like showing off Columbus Crew. He's like, I'm so proud to be part of this team. And then the very next story is him in a RSL jersey. That's so
no, he kind of came up through the ranks there, and was very proud to be on the first team and played well against us and shut us out for, up here in the mountains.
Home. Yeah.
At home. And then now he's on our team. And then Gozo, the kid from the west side.
We saw later in the year last year.
Yeah, we didn't see him in the game, but he was on the bench.
Xavier
Palacio. And
what's this?
Storley?
Who's this guy? Who's that? Storley.
Brought up from the Monarchs.
K. Storley from Los Monarcos. For those of you that don't habla español, okay, sorry.
Say Narcos? Are you going to reference some cocaine people?
Yeah, they brought him up from the Narcos.
So, that's
a different league, Tyler.
Yeah. But
The Hippos.
so let's talk about the back line. So
What the heck?
Hidalgo playing a center back. How do we feel about that?
So the kid can play. The kid can play soccer. Let's be honest. Let's start there. The kid can play. He's played outside back in a 3-man, which is kind of like playing center back in a 4-man. But I thought he was the strength of the defense. Hidalgo. He was great. Brody on his right. The two of them actually played well together. It's hard to say they didn't play well together. There were a few chances, but nothing that you would think, man, that was horrible.
Nothing outside the typical.
Yeah. And then Oviedo on the inside left, I was surprised. Like I didn't see anything before the game kicked off, and I just saw the game. I just turned the game on. I was doing stuff, and then I was like, "Oh, kickoff!" And I looked up, and the ball went back to Oviedo, and I was like, "Oh, Catranas has been playing so well. I'm surprised we started Oviedo." And then I saw him pass it to Catranas. I was like, "What is happening?" So yeah, that's a bit of a change there in the back, and the funny thing is it kind of worked.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I guess it kind of worked because we got the result. But at the same time, how bad is Chicago? That they can't take advantage of that back line? That was the concern to me. And I think, fortunately, we ran into a team that doesn't know what they are doing, what they're about. They are in disarray. Zerdin Shaqiri, their $8 million man, might go down as one of the biggest MLS busts in a long time.
Maybe dollar for dollar he could be up there, but no, he kind of picked up a knock in
it was like 13th, 15th minute or something like that.
Early on.
Or he just looked like he didn't want to be out there.
And then another guy picked up a knock early on in
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, Brian Gutierrez, who's probably their best player. And let's be honest, in MLS, the most influential player for me is that center defensive midfield. For me, that's the most important. The teams that have the most influence in that win the most. So, in this case, Anelli and Ojeda outplayed their side, and it wasn't even close.
I was impressed. I was absolutely impressed. They were so good defensively, controlling any sort of movement through the middle. And honestly, I mean, there was a little hiccup in the first half by Anelli.
A little bit. A couple.
Yeah, Anelli had a few mishits. Yeah.
Right. But I'll give it to him. But really, I mean, hats off to them. They really showed their mettle in this game. And it was really impressive to see. And Ojeda is just like that unsung hero at the moment. You know, he doesn't have the highlight reel. He doesn't have the goals. But he's really just that solid centerpiece connecting everything. I'm super happy with those two.
All right, anything else on the lineup? How about Beavers? Thoughts on throwing Beavers in? My first thought seeing the lineup was...
We don't take it serious?
I don't know if it was...
That's what I got. I didn't know about the whole center back fiasco. But I was like, wow, you don't think Chicago's good? We just lost 2 points. Sorry.
Maybe that's what they were thinking. We've got 2 road games. Next week is Philadelphia. And we'll see if the center back pairing is going to get back to the regular guys or if we're going to see another rotated side like this. But I think if we threw this lineup out against Philadelphia, I don't think the outcome is the same.
Agreed.
No. Philadelphia is a better team than Chicago. So we could have just caught them right at the right time. I was watching Beavers and he did okay. He actually did really well. To be totally honest.
Yeah.
He looked like he has more of a presence back there this year. And I was thinking, it's like, if we're going to piecemeal this, do we piecemeal this and just give him a game here and there? Or do you just bite the bullet and give him 3, 4, 5 games to see if he can win the job?
Yeah, it's a good question. McMath has been so solid for us this year, though. I would hate to call that like at the first of the season. Like only a moron would say that McMath was going to lose his starting spot. Who would predict something that stupid? Oh yeah, that was me. But no, I think Beavers has that potential to be the
next one.
The next one. And either be the guy for a long time or move to Europe. And I think that that's that back of the mind idea that we're going to sell on some of these kids. Some of these kids are going to be sold on at some point, and we're going to have to capitalize on that sell-on fee to then backfill our roster.
Yeah, and that my thought is, if that's the goal, the question I guess is what is the goal?
Yeah.
Is Beavers going to be the starter for RSL, or is he a player they're looking to sell on? Either way, they need to play him.
Yeah.
If he's that good, you just need to play him. Give him a shot. 3 or 4 or 5 games, give him a stretch. If it just goes haywire, you take him off, you work on his mentality, get him back in there, get him ready, because you have a truly great veteran in Zach McMath, and maybe not an MLS All-Star in the back of the net, but a great player on your team.
Yeah, and definitely solid.
And if he understands the role he's in,
yeah,
then say, hey, you know what, Zach, we're trying to get this guy out of your way and get him moved on.
We're going to have to give him a few games.
So we'll see how it plays out. I don't know if they're going to start Beavers against Philly. I'd be really curious to see.
Well, if they do go with the same lineup, my first inclination is, even though Quentin's brand new, sub him in for Oviedo. Like, Oviedo, I think he just didn't – he felt a little lost at center back. You know what I mean? He just – I mean –
He had a missed turnover.
Yeah. And
up the center, yeah.
And he's 5'8" in air quotes listed because they list him at 132 pounds. So I don't think he's 5'8", but he's more like 5'5", 5'6" to me. But Quentin's 6'6".
Big guy.
So he's probably 6'3", you know?
Yeah, Oviedo was so short they might loan him out to Lauren.
Oh, but doesn't that also tell us, though, if we picked up Quentin midweek, that we really don't want to recall those loans?
No,
those guys
that's
still have
because
ways to
Lambert's
go.
not going to come back. Orozco's definitely not coming back. But I want to know what was in the trade for Quentin. They said it was a trade.
Yeah, so it was like 200 right off the bat, and then
It was a GAM.
Yeah, so it's play money, right?
Yeah,
and so they can just use our GAM. That's
all it
what
was.
that is.
So
yeah.
it was 200 for him.
Yeah, and I think there's a potential for 150 more, depending
Based
on how
on
much he plays for us. Something like that.
Okay,
So,
I thought we swapped a player of some kind or something,
it could have been
like a Monarch or
a
something.
4th round draft pick or something.
All
yeah.
our players were
Nobody
injured,
else.
so they didn't.
Yeah,
They
that's
couldn't
why-
transfer anybody.
That's why we made the trade, right? Is because our center back grouping has. So Silva, obviously, if you haven't caught up for a few weeks, Marcelo Silva stepped on a ball at practice and it stretched him too far and it popped his Achilles.
Hamstring?
Hamstring?
Yeah, it was his
Achilles?
hamstring, I thought.
Hamstring? Okay.
Yeah.
Some part of his leg got hurt real bad.
Hamstring. It was 4 to 6 months. If it was an Achilles, that's a year.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if it's an Achilles, he's done, right?
Yeah.
But it's a, what was it? What'd you say?
Hamstring.
Hamstring. So 4 to 6 months, but he's old too, so you never know.
Old.
And then our stud pairing of Glad and Vera, both running on knocks, so
It still answers the question is, why are we going so hard in practice? Especially when we have a heavy rotation going into away games.
haven't we had like 6 guys injured in practice? Wasn't Ruiz injured in practice?
Ruiz was injured in practice and then re-injured. No.
He was injured in the game.
Re-injured in practice.
Yeah,
but yeah.
re-injured in practice.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
frustrating.
well, maybe they should use the metal detector, because if they're just going to keep shivving each other.
Do you know what we need to come up with? This is $1 million idea.
Let's hear it.
Sorry to
When
say this.
Brandt sets up a joke, what to say?
So no. So now think of
Bring
this.
in the metal detectors because,
Think
and
of
then
this.
we have to think of something real fast.
Okay, you go into a store.
Yeah.
Somebody's standing behind the counter.
Okay.
They usually have that mat that they're standing on.
Right. So they look taller.
Not so they look taller. It's to help with their feet and
Oh.
makes it so it's squishy.
Ergonomically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Help their
Yeah.
back.
Now let's do that, but AstroTurf. So that way we protect Achilles. We do all that stuff, and it's just they're running around on pillows, baby. I'm saying it's the next
That
generation.
won't change their gait at all. You're
You
right.
know what I mean?
We
Like
should
that,
totally
that
do
basketball, the trampoline basketball. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's all
Yeah.
very comfortable. They don't have
Yeah,
to run too
when I
much.
start dunking the ball.
Yeah,
I'm
telling you, it's gonna blow
in my
up.
shoes.
it's gonna blow up. Every practice field is gonna have the squishy field.
Oh boy. So I guess we can get in on the game now.
Yeah, let's jump
Now
in.
Let's
that we
move in.
kinda did all the
I did
news?
have one other question on the lineup before
Okay.
we move in. Xavier Gozo, back to Beavers. You're playing the young guys. You're playing Barajas. Why not play Xavier Gozo?
Because you have a $6 million player, Chicho Arango, and then you also have a very talented center attacking mid by Crooks.
Who
Gomez
needs
is
time
hot,
with the team.
and Barajas has already been tried and true, playing at a higher level than Gozo.
But why are we subbing in Chang instead of Gozo?
Because
That's a
Chang
great
is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I
I
will
think
talk
that's
about him at the end of the game.
Okay, we'll talk
So
about that later.
We'll hold that
but-
in. But yeah,
He is 32.
what's wrong with that?
I'm just saying, he's a little bit older.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that, huh? I can still play.
So
Anyway, let's move on. That was
getting
our lineup.
kicked off, and it got a little feisty right off the bat. Kellen Acosta was running around kicking people.
Yeah, moving into the first half.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's move into the first half. We're going to the first half. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah. Kellen Acosta likes to kick people.
Yeah.
He kept kicking people until they gave him a yellow card in the 15th minute. Then after that, he kind of got owned by Anelli and Ojeda the whole game.
He looked like there was a lot of disinterest. If you're looking at the faces, Kellen Acosta looked disinterested. Shaqiri definitely looked like.
Shaqiri looked like he missed an appointment and he was upset about it. Like
And
he
he
did
was
not.
like, that's it. I'm subbing out. So
Yeah, and because you saw the foul or whatever that happened,
Yeah.
that was the most minimal amount of contact to be hurt.
I
Yeah.
don't think he got him anyway.
Yeah, I
it was
don't
almost
understand.
like his foot scraped the bottom of his foot, but it just threw him up enough that he kicked himself, and that's what caused the
Oh,
injury.
really? Yeah.
At least that's what I saw on the replay. Hit me up on Twitter, X96. What's that thing?
X96? That's an
that what
old
it's
radio
called?
station, man.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's right.
Is that still around, X96?
Yes, X96 is still around.
I'm pretty sure they still have all those stickers.
Radio from hell. Terry Will and Gina. Every morning. KXRK 96.3.
Anyway, Acosta got a yellow in the 15th minute for kicking people. And then,
Which is weird because they were, honestly, the first 10 minutes, they looked like we were not okay. It looked like it was going to be one of those where, like, oh, we're going to be in a fight. And they had an opportunity, I think it was like the 9th or 10th minute, something like that. They hit, that missed wide.
yeah, their center forward got on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was
Looked dangerous.
all of a sudden it like woke us up and we actually became a soccer team again, and we started moving the ball so much better. And I think that was like you were saying, Anelli and Ojeda.
Yeah.
I think once they kind of got their ground, it was on.
Yeah, and did you see when I thought the announcers were hilarious. So the first guy's named Tyler, right? Tyler something.
Oh, he is terrible.
Yeah, and then
We're the Positive Podcast. Can you
I just
rescind
going
that
off on
comment?
the Tyler. What a dumb name.
Tyler.
Oh, there you go.
idiot,
That's better.
Stupid name. That guy. Oh wait, that's me.
First and last names.
And then what's her name? I apologize. I don't even know who that
I don't either.
is. Yeah.
Are
So,
we supposed to? We should probably know that, huh?
I mean, normally the announcers we kind of know or we've heard of them. I don't know. The Tyler guy I've heard him announce before, and he's done okay. But it seemed to be that he didn't know us, and he knew Chicago.
Well, neither does Apple TV. So
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, yeah. But they were going on and on 3 different times about just stupid plays. Like when Gomez got his yellow in the 31st minute for complaining that the ball was pushed like 6 feet up the field.
That's such a stupid thing. Like,
It
it's not
is.
even...
It is so funny,
What is
but
that,
it's
like the 20th minute or something like that? Like,
yeah, and he's not a guy that gets yellow cards. He doesn't stick into tackles and stuff. So I wasn't worried, but I thought it was hilarious how far they went. They're like, this Gomez kid showing his immaturity, being a dork, jack-wagoning up the whole game.
all for 3 yards.
On and on and on. And I'm like, why? Why are you guys still going off?
but
Why do you hate Gomez?
It is honestly pretty stupid, though. You gotta admit.
Yeah, I was
Was
laughing.
he on the side with Pablo?
Yeah.
I wonder if Pablo was like, move the ball.
Get in there,
Hold it
Gomez.
up.
Tell him to
'Cause
slow this down.
Because that is out of normal for
It
Gomez.
was kind of, and it was so far away. It was just kind of, it
I thought
was
it
kind
was
of crazy.
so funny, but it was it was that Shaqiri foul, and then he subbed out right after that, and then anyway they got that free kick and nothing happened on it, but that was past the goal, so I apologize. We should have went in order.
We're not going in order. It's all first half. This is the first half. We're going over the first half.
Well, we're not the organized podcast.
We're
just
the
positive.
random.
We're the random one.
No. What's her name? Oh, anyway,
Katranis?
No, the lady that
Barbara Streisand.
No, the lady that had the Netflix series, the series about
Olivia Newton-John.
Mandy Moore.
That talking about organizing yourself, and if it doesn't bring you joy, doesn't spark
the
joy,
fly
keep
lady.
it. And then she
Asian
came
lady.
out later, a couple years later, after she had some kid, and says, "Never mind."
Yeah, if it just doesn't bring joy,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
No joy.
I still fold my clothes that way. Thank you, lady, wherever you are.
Yeah, whoever you are.
Well, let's talk about the goal. The first goal, which
Such
came
good work.
out of absolutely nothing.
No,
Out of nowhere.
Katranis brought it down the wing. And
No,
didn't get a go
that
with
long
Chicho.
ball to Contreras from Chicho,
From
and then
Chicho,
Contreras
out of the
sent it
middle.
over, and then Gomez handled it, put a cut into the inside, and then shot it with his left foot near post, which went past two defenders, which they weren't even paying attention to. It was actually an incredible goal.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
a
weird.
well-worked goal.
Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying Contreras.
Yeah.
I am missing that ball because Oviedo can give us that ball, but Contreras gives us the pace to be moving in
make that
transition.
run. Yeah.
So, I mean, Chicho's eyes were awesome on that play, getting Contreras out there.
And that was not an easy pass to make from Chicho.
No, that's
No.
two
He
lines.
had to pull away from his defender, knock it back enough to be able to knock that ball over two defenders. And Katranis, it's like he started making the run, and then he was like, I don't know if I'm really going to get this back. And then all of a sudden, oh, there it is. I better run hard. And he got to it. And, yeah, beautiful. And then Gomez with the killer finish.
Oh, yeah.
I jumped up off the couch. I don't do that very
Because
often.
it made it hard for that goalie to see that ball come off his feet right away.
Woo-wee. Yeah, that was beautiful.
But where's your boy Crooks, huh? Where is your
That
boy?
is-
Because that's the guy that's supposed to be sending that ball to Contreras, right?
We can talk about Crooks. There's a lot of, I don't know, what's the word, concern, a lot of chatter on the interwebs about Crooks and whether or not he's going to fit in if he's a player. If you look at the stats, he doesn't excel well on the stats. He can be a turnover machine. I think the jury is still way out on him. On whether or not he's going to be the player we expect him to be. But I thought he played better this game than a lot of the other games. Maybe it's because he was in there and Luna wasn't next to him, two players trying to occupy the same space. But I thought he played better. I love the way he gets all over the place. He does track back on defense. His passing could be a little bit better. That's surprising that there are some misses. But one of the things I noticed, there's a couple of times where it's a matter of style, right? Not Katranis, but Crooks looked like he passed it to a player about 15 yards back, and he wanted it back. Like the back and forth, trying to draw the defenders close to you. So then when he gives it back to you, there's space behind you. I think he's just a little bit more patient, and they have to figure it out. But
and too English, right? Like
Very English.
stylistically, because he's playing with Chicho, in this case Gomez, Barajas, Ojeda, and Anelli, and they all kind of play with little Latino flair, right? And he's kind of the big, tall, white guy in the middle. But I think very quickly he'll adapt and he'll be a solid piece because he's making runs people aren't really seeing yet. Mm-hmm. And you watch the game with an eye for that, and you're like, he made that near post run, and they did not play him the ball. But that would have been a great ball to play. But they didn't know he was going to make that run almost, right?
who made the run on Gomez's goal?
Crooks. He made that run
He
through.
made the run.
That drew the defenders away, and then made that other defender track back and try to cut off his angle, and then Gomez was able to cut in. And
I did pick Crooks to be the player perhaps the player of the season for us.
Perhaps.
Because I'm a little bit of an Anglophile for sure. But
Anglophile meaning he loves England more than anything else.
England favoritism.
I do
he likes
enjoy.
England.
I like that. I like England. They're my second favorite country. How's that?
Who's your third?
America. I was kidding.
I know. I was gonna say.
Canada's first?
Costa Rica. No, I've heard great things about it. Heard great things about Costa
Actually,
Rica.
it's Chile. I love Chile.
Please.
Were you hinting around for Chile? I'm sorry.
No, I know you don't.
No,
care about
I
Chile,
like
but
that. I was excited for him. I will say that I see all of the criticism. I can see where people think that they would be giving up on Crooks, but I agree. I think there's a little more time to be patient with him.
Yeah.
When they all start playing together. But definitely he needs to work on some stuff to fit into the way the MLS game
It's different
is played.
timing.
Yeah.
Different timing on the ball. You know, England they're quick to passes, but then there's also that lull that they get into where they can possess the ball. Whereas MLS, it's almost like one tone throughout. You know, it's one speed. Yeah, trap pass, trap pass, trap pass, trap pass, and it's that simple tempo. And England, they just have far more talent over there, so it's a lot more unique in the fact of where they're moving the ball, how they're moving it, runs, all that mumbo
A
jumbo.
little more patience at times. But I think there are teams in MLS that play that way. I think Columbus is a great example of a team that plays a little bit more patient, a little bit more patience at times.
More of a style.
Well, some would say
Yeah.
it's even at a higher level.
Red Bull, New York play at a different style too.
Yeah, that was a good game, by the way. Go
Yeah.
Red Bull.
LAFC game.
What were your guys' thoughts before the second goal? Do you think that we were in the right place to where we were
I was a little worried, honestly.
I was
I was like, "Ugh, we got to get a second one.
right? That's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I feel like the second one was out of nowhere.
This is a corner.
Well, the
second one was a corner?
Or was that third?
No,
one?
that was
second,
Chicho getting
second
that.
was the turnover.
Oh,
the turnover,
Navarro.
Navarro,
The second one was the back
Navarro,
pass.
who
Okay,
was
sorry.
a game time sub, he came in for Gutierrez. Gutierrez is their big midfielder,
right defensive mid.
defensive mid, who kind of runs the show for them. Like you're saying, the best. So Navarro comes in.
That was a great pass, though.
Yeah, I don't know. He was going
Great
for
through ball for Chicho. Like Brady didn't have a chance to come out and shut that down.
It was
right? Like
60 yards away from the goal, and he's sending it back.
it's too bad he was on their team. But yeah, it was a great through ball, but good pressure from Gomez too. Like I mean, like that's
it's
what a lot of people
rewarding
are
for
missing
playing
with
high.
Gomez.
Yeah, it's the reward of playing high, and that's what we can do in the new formation, 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, and I think Gomez is obviously our best, most consistent attacking threat all by himself. Now Chicho's our best player, and he's going to score the most goals. But Gomez one-on-one is dangerous.
And you saw Barajas is the better equivalent on the other side.
Yeah, that's a good question. Is Luna better over there, or is Barajas? And I think if you just take so far this year, I think it's Barajas, right? I mean,
Yeah, and that's because of what's happening on the other side. Now, if Gomez wasn't there, then I would be Luna all day because Luna can orchestrate, do a lot of things. But with the tempo that Gomez is setting, Luna is not adjusting to that.
yeah,
And we need someone just as quick to fill in. And I think Barajas has that style, that flair that's going to really complement it.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Luna start in
Next
the
game?
middle on
Rather than Crooks.
instead of a Crooks.
instead of Crooks in the middle. I think that's
That's a good
at
way.
some point that has to happen. Wouldn't you think?
I wasn't thinking about it, but now that I think about it, it sounds fantastic.
I think that's where a lot of people want to see Luna is in the middle, where kind of plays to his talents. I wonder if he's there yet, if he has the size and the presence to,
Size at that position?
well, just the
'Cause isn't that
ability.
number 10,
He played
pretty
really
much?
well. He played really well. Played really well.
He prayed really hard.
He
was
prayed
playing
so
real
hard.
hard.
Played really.
Did you see
prayed.
the pregame? Props to Chicho for bringing his Bible to the game.
Did he?
Yeah, in the pregame he's walking in. Hey, he's got his Bible. Nice, good job, Chicho. But
Way to stay humble. Give the glory. Give
Yeah.
the glory. Give and take.
Luna did play well. He
Give and go.
he played a lot with a lot more confidence, a little more stout when he came in.
Wait, that's the second half.
Yeah, we'll get there. But but I think that's the next evolution. Where is he going to play? Is he going to play in
That's
the
a
middle?
good question.
Or is he
Yeah.
going to play out the left? Because I think Barajas is a better option on the left side.
Right now.
And so.
But does Pablo see that? Because I feel like Pablo is gonna see him as a young player, so it's not like his position. It's like, hey, I'm gonna give you this opportunity instead of thinking, hey, this guy is what we need right there.
Well, because he has to build consistency. Once he builds consistency, it's his spot,
Yeah,
right? But until then,
I mean,
still up for grabs.
this is only his second or third start, right?
Right. So I think the jury's still out, and he's very young too. But for how he's played so well, he hasn't put a lot of things wrong.
I haven't seen him mess up really.
Yeah, I mean he's missed passes going into the box, but that's the place to make passes that could be considered bad, and then they don't punish you right away. It takes the whole team back. But
what did you think after the second goal?
Yeah, that was my question. After that second goal, I was like, it's our night. It's our night. And it's just things are going to go well for us the rest of the night. That's what I thought.
There's a great video.
Totally changed my point of view. I'm like, we're the best team ever. I love this team.
Yeah, I was feeling the same way. There's a great shot from behind the goal with it has a picture of Navarro and Gomez, and he makes the pass to Chicho, and you can see he goes like this. He puts his hands up as he sees Chicho get this wonderful pass. And then I don't think Chicho took a touch, did he?
No, just the one touch right through his legs.
Boom, 5-hole through the keeper, through the wicket.
Got megged.
And then
I think Brady was like, okay, he's going to try to dribble me. And Chicho was just like, through his legs.
I think
that's the sound that makes. Right through his legs.
After that,
imagine that's the sound you make when you kick a ball.
Can you imagine you're playing FIFA and you have a bad kick and it makes that sound? Anyway.
That is my favorite thing in soccer, though.
Yeah?
When
sound effects?
Get mad.
Especially in the English game when somebody has an errant kick and then you get the yay, the sarcastic yay from them. So I thought that second goal sucked a lot of life out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Because Shaqiri had already been it was right after Shaqiri got
the two best players are off.
And and Acosta didn't look like
he was on a yellow already. Yeah.
So third goal, how'd that turn out?
And that's where Acosta looked even more disinterested. Dude. He was supposed to be marking Chicho.
He was the one?
Yeah.
And wide open.
He was kind of standing there by Crooks, and Chicho just ran around him. And he was like, I hope Chicho doesn't head that into the dang it.
Right. Wide open.
Did you watch it? I watched it like 6 times. I'm like, what is Acosta thinking? I can't think of
he's
anything.
Literally like,
I hope that doesn't go right to dang it. You know, like...
That was when I was like, oh, I don't need to keep watching this game. Like I was literally like 37th minute or whatever. Oh my gosh, turn it on, see that, and I'm like, that was a good 3 points. And I literally just left. I was like, I'm not watching anymore. So that was fantastic, especially 9-day difference from Columbus to Chicago. I mean, Chicago isn't as stout, even though Columbus is a B team at best at the moment that we played. So, 3-0. Way to go.
In the 37th minute.
If you watch the replay, old Crooks is holding his defender.
Oh, yes.
But he wasn't holding on to Acosta, though, and that's who was guarding Chicho.
And his defender wasn't trying to get away either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Crooks was like, I'm taking this corner off. Here, you want to hold hands? And the guy was like, no. And he was like, sorry.
What a solid header, though, because that goalie is right on him, too. He sees him, he lines up with him, and Chicho still puts it right past him.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
This shows his versatility, right?
That's also the danger of playing somebody young. I think their keeper's only 20 years old.
Yeah, Brady.
I don't know if he's their starting keeper. I
think his name's Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You guys both are like, all right.
Okay. That's
sure,
funny.
Sounds right.
And then they subbed off another player in the 46th, Navarro. He was still upset about the back pass.
Yeah, that's second half, right? Because that's after halftime.
So we finished the first half 3-0. Shaqiri out and 2 yellow cards. So pretty good first half, especially on the road, which we are good at.
All right. So do you want to take us into halftime? Who's doing the halftime?
Pickle. Oh, I saw Brandon Steinekert.
Yeah, where at?
The Grid.
The Grid.
In Pleasant Grove.
Oh, yeah, racing cars?
Yeah, racing little go-karts, yeah. I was like...
Those aren't little go-karts.
No, they're fast.
Super fast
40 miles an hour, but unless you're doing the pro, which is like 50.
Yeah.
But I walked in...
Did you do the pro?
No, you have to set a certain time, and then you can, then which I did set the right time, so I could go pro, but I didn't want to spend $50 and stay there.
You're that good, dude?
Yeah.
Way to go, man.
Way to go, yeah.
I didn't set any lap records when I was there.
Oh.
I took like 4th.
You probably never owned a Subaru.
Fair point. That is a fair point. Anyways. I have never, and likely will never.
Well,
On
I
the
walk
simmer.
in and I'm like, the girl has pink hair. I think I've seen this girl before. And I was like, who is this chick? And I just like walked past her. I didn't think anything of it. And then as I was done and I was walking out, and I'm like, I swear I know who that girl with the pink hair is. And then as I like looked at her, I see Brandon give somebody a hug, and I'm like, oh, that's who it was. That's his girl or whatever. And then I was gonna say hi, but he was, saying farewell because he's so nice. You know what I mean? Like we've talked to him a couple times.
Oh, you didn't talk to him?
No, I felt it was awkward because he was like buddy with his guy, like his friends, and talking about stuff. And I was like, I don't want to.
That's why we have you on the
Come
podcast,
on,
Tyler.
man.
Tyler
because I
has
would
no
do that.
shame.
No shame.
But
at
also,
all.
I'm probably like
I'll
the
just
one that
be like,
nobody's gonna remember anyway.
Hey, what's up, Brandon? No, dude, he'd remember you.
No, he wouldn't, dude. I mean, you
Yeah, you were the one going on and on about how he saved your life being in the
Yeah.
U's, and it was just an incredible time.
And man, they just started sucking
I was
after that
talking
one
from the
album.
heart.
Yeah,
It's true.
It was his birthday over the weekend too, so happy birthday, Brandon!
yeah. I hope he had a good time at the Grid,
Yeah, setting the records.
Pleasant Grove,
Pleasant
racing
Grove.
away.
Really awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, halftime.
Halftime. How about time for orange slices?
You get an orange slice, and you get an orange slice. I give mine to Oviedo. I was gonna go Hidalgo and make you guys think I just am in love with that
So
guy.
you gotta admit though, he had a couple fumbles in the first half.
Yeah, that's why I went
He was
with
uncomfortable.
Oviedo, who was also uncomfortable, but looked less uncomfortable. I think once we made a switch in the second half,
Oh, yeah.
Hidalgo did great. But I think I give it to Oviedo because out of nowhere he's like, Coach, I'll do it. I'll jump in. I'm a team player. I'll hold down the back line for you. I got this.
He also was the one on the corner.
Yeah, he was the assist for Chicho.
Yeah,
on that-
good driven
that
ball,
third
like
goal.
you love.
I
right?
love it. I love
a good
that
driven ball.
I love that curled ball
Yeah,
that's going down.
buddy.
Ah.
A left-footed in-swinger.
What about
Beauty.
you, Brennan? Do you have an orange slice?
I'm gonna give it to the guy who's always underneath the radar, and that's Ojeda. Ojeda is so solid, so good, offense, defense.
Special
Just-
teams.
He's honestly, I wish we got to see some more highlights of him. I want him to score. I want him to be a part of more things, but he's just holding it down and doing the dirty work.
Yeah, those two are just surprising. Probably surprising the whole league.
I think so.
I think it surprised Pablo. Remember when he asked him about it in the post game, and he was like, "Yeah, like I thought he was going to be a right back, and all of a sudden he moved him into center midfield, and him and Ojeda just have this like unsung poetry they're writing out there or something." He made it sound all
Haikus.
beautiful and
Yeah.
kind,
It is the
sweet.
universe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give my orange slice too, if you guys were going to ask. I'll go with Mr. 9.5, Chicho.
9.5.
Is he a 9? Is he a 10? Where does he play?
It doesn't
He
matter.
plays all over.
He plays for us.
He's starting the offense. He's finishing the offense with the goals. The guy has just been outstanding. Leading the league in goals scored. I think he even has more goals and assists than
Bouanga?
Messi.
Messi.
Oh,
Yeah,
why
Bouanga.
would LA get rid of him?
Who knows? That's what people were saying when that season. Why are they getting rid of Chicho? Chicho's the odd one out. He's the obvious one out. And now
And he wasn't even making that great of money at LAFC. He's making better money here.
Oh, really? I
they
didn't
had
know
him
that.
on like $500,000,
Yeah.
$500,000 or $600,000.
No way.
Yeah.
And they let him go.
Yeah. And that's why when we brought him in, I was like, how I couldn't have thought of anybody better for us to bring in. Remember
Yeah.
we were describing like who it should be?
And it was like literally Chicho.
And then when they signed Chicho, we're like, it's so beautiful.
Well, I thought, how in that? There's no way RSL is getting a Chicho Arango.
Boom.
But holy
Got
cow,
him.
they did
job,
work on
ownership
it
group.
before
Thank you, Ryan
the end of the season. They were trying to get him. There was rumors RSL, he might end up at RSL, and there's no way. Then he went off to Liga MX.
Pachuca.
Oh, it was Pachuca. They're green.
I think so.
They're
yeah.
blue and white.
Oh, they're blue and
So,
white.
yeah. Just like everybody else.
And he lasted there 6 months, half of one of the Apertura.
Didn't like the
or-
lifestyle. Didn't like the area.
I don't know if that is that much as he
No, that's
wanted.
what it was.
Was it?
It could have been. I think there was a little bit of
I
that.
asked him.
In
But he wanted
Espanol?
to-
We were just chilling. He was at Sephora. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing here, man?" And he's like, "I just don't like Pachuca." And I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
I'm totally
There's not
with
much
you
out there. It's a
bro.
mining town. It's not that great.
It's
You know
no
what I mean?
Pumas.
It's like trying to play soccer down in Eureka. You know what I mean? Eureka and Delta. You don't really have much going on down there.
So yeah, I really like how they're playing. I am concerned.
Okay, tell us what you're concerned
I'll
about.
tell you what I'm
Host.
concerned about. I'm not. I'll admit I'm not a huge Pablo Mastroeni fan,
Oh no.
but it is hard to argue with results. But for me, the concerns are, I think Pablo will play players into the ground. I think we've seen that. The first season he was in charge, by the end of the year, the guys were just tired and worn out.
So
I
who do you
wonder.
feel like he's overplaying now?
Well, Chicho played the whole game.
Chicho and Gomez kind of have played the most, right?
Yeah, so I wonder if that's a concern. Maybe it's not a concern. Maybe these guys can handle it, but when you're up 3-0, 4-0 in a game, maybe you give your star players a little bit of a break, a few minutes off, so they don't step over a ball and pop a hamstring accidentally or something. So that's just a concern. And also, I thought, I've had complaints about how they play the game, but I thought this game against Chicago, they passed the ball around, they possessed it, and it looked a lot more like they said they were going to play.
You know what?
I kind of enjoyed watching it.
I like our style. Like, it's not dramatically different from last year or the year before, but it's just different enough that, like, it's more attacking. There's a little more flair, a little more Gomez, and a little more Chicho, and we're all a little happier,
Yeah, who needs a back line if you're going to put so much pressure on your opponent that they can't get out of their own half?
Right.
So we'll see if, as we go along, if teams figure out Gomez and maybe prepare for him and make sure there's a couple of players over on his side. It hasn't mattered too much yet. He's been able to. But maybe teams will adjust more.
Especially teams in the West, because the West is stacked this year.
You know it.
Right.
Strongest in the league.
Houston, Colorado, Portland. These are guys that are just going to kick him and
San
try
Jose.
to shove him down the whole game.
Just-
Try to keep a good man down. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a little flipped before we get into the second half. We want to
Oh,
talk
we
about.
don't curse it. Every time we talk about standings, guess what happens? We drop down 3 to 4 spots.
well, I thought
Somebody
it was
gets
funny.
hurt.
I thought it was funny that everybody was posting that out there. Salt Lake's in first place in the West. We're 2 games ahead, guys.
Yeah, like
Yeah, of course we got more points than LA, right? Like, oh jeez. We ended up in third at the weekend, so
Well, actually, we're on same amount of games as the Galaxy and Colorado and LAFC and Austin. So it's either 8 or 9. So we haven't played too many. But I think
Vancouver's
it's
ahead of us,
interesting.
and they've played 8. So
Yeah, Vancouver and Colorado and Minnesota and Houston are all teams probably nobody thought would be above LAFC, St. Louis, Kansas City, Portland, and Seattle.
Yeah.
So you
Seattle's-
just stay down there, Seattle. We don't need you. You
take
just
your
stay
stupid
way down
blue
there.
stripes and go.
Yeah,
home.
you just stay down
It's
there.
actually not that bad. Like when you like look at it objectively,
I kind of like it.
yeah, it's kind of nice.
I love the color.
I think you guys are nuts.
I think it's a little daring.
guys
It's a
also
little. It's
like
more
the-
90s inspired, but you know.
You guys also like the Portland couch ones.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can trust you.
I'm gonna totally rock that on the next podcast.
Yeah. Somebody got it for Christmas. Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway.
What you
So
googling,
you ready
Goob?
for the second
Well, I
half?
kind of go back. Anyway, let's go to the second half.
Second half.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Pow, 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 pow.
Right off the bat.
Right off the
Sub.
bat. Sub
What
it
was
up.
the sub, Brent?
Navarro, he was subbed out.
Oh,
Wait,
when you pass a
food
through
poisoning.
ball
It was tough.
to the other team, and
Just
it
kidding.
just is a one-touch goal. You just kind of have to sub that guy out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. What would it be like to be a fly in that room, coming into?
On the
Chicago side, yeah. Do you think he got real with him, or do you think he was trying to motivate him?
Well, the
I
funny thing is, Frank Klopas has been the manager of that team for, I think, 3 and 4 times now. Like, this is
Really?
his 3rd or 4th time as their head
He's
coach.
been there at the team for a long time.
Yeah, he
'Cause
was
moved up
on
to
the original team. I don't know if he was on the very first year, but first couple of years, Frank Lopez, he was like a center defensive mid for them years and years and years. But
he's been in the front office, and he came back to coach the team. But they have They've got $20 million in players.
Yeah, Shaqiri is not cheap.
Shaqiri was $8 million, and he came in the second half for them. Getting to the second half was Kuipers.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. When did he come in? I swear he was in.
Navarro subbed out at halftime, and Jimenez came in.
Yeah, Barlow came in.
And then Barlow came in for Jimenez.
Shaqiri got injured, remember?
No, I meant Shaqiri went out, but they had Kuipers in too, didn't he? Or did he start and we just didn't even see him?
Mel Kuipers Jr. Is that who it is?
No, it was
Kuipers. Yeah, he started.
Yeah,
he started. Holy God, that guy! They paid $12 million for Hugo Kuipers.
Well, he's the guy. He's the guy that scored the goal, but it was offside.
Yeah.
Was that the first half?
Yeah.
Man, we're supposed to talk about the first half.
Sorry,
But
I missed it.
You did a good job.
Okay, well, we caught it. We'll get this in the edit. Tyler, could you edit this back?
I can't.
We'll go back in time. So yeah, that between Kuipers and Shaqiri, that's $20 million.
$20 million for the team or starting 11?
No, that's $20 million for those two players and transfer fees.
What? Those two?
Yeah, Shaqiri they picked up in 22, $8 million transfer fee. And I think he's only got like 12 goals, and this is his third season. So he's been kind of productive, but the team has just been. I think they made the playoffs once, and then Kuipers they picked up this in February for $12 million from Belgium.
What?
Yeah, and like Chris
Who
Mueller.
is picking
Chris
them?
Mueller was a beast when he played for Orlando.
He was,
and now he's like disappointing.
Yeah, number 8. What? Oh man, see that's got to be a failure somewhere in the front office or something, because Chicago hasn't been a cohesive unit for years. Whoever is in charge of scouting and doing all that stuff, they have not found the way to bring them all together.
Yeah, it's strange too, because they brought in other guys like Gutman. He played for Atlanta, and he did a great job there. And they brought him in, and now he can't even get in the starting lineup. Like,
that's so crazy.
You know
I would
what I
be
mean?
so
Like-
pissed off as an owner, like wasting that much money on 2 players.
Well, it's tough. I think that just shows how difficult it is, how fickle professional sports are. That sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle, and it lasts for seasons after seasons. And like Seattle, they went 13 seasons before they missed the playoffs.
and now no Garth,
and they're struggling at the bottom. And RSL, we were terrible until 2007-8, and then from 09 to 13, maybe even a little bit of 14, we might have been the best run team in the league, one of the most dangerous ones. And then we're just finally getting back to where between 2014 and today, where people are starting to take notice. So it can be a fickle process to create that winning mentality and the winning system. And if you don't get it right, you can be years trying to rebuild.
Yeah, and you miss on 1 or 2 players.
Set you back.
Yeah, in this league, especially if they're your DPs.
I'm surprised we got out of it pretty okay with Cordoba.
Yeah.
Like that one was a good sleek. It was like, here you go, you can take it.
Hey, Vancouver, you want another guy that's not doing great for us?
There you go.
We got another guy.
We didn't rename that corner, did we?
No, well,
Silva
kind of.
Corner?
No,
What's it called now?
They have the
America First.
Utah Royals.
Utah Royals corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the Utah Royals. They still have the Beckerman right next to it.
Yeah.
My boy
So-
Beckerman. Go UVU.
Back to the second half. Did it feel like in any way that Chicago was dangerous?
Well, Jimenez kept kicking people. I'm surprised he didn't get a yellow.
It's a good profession to be in to kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't be good in basketball.
Luna came in really early. That was exciting to see. Early sub, 56 minute. Luna comes in for Gomez.
Because Gomez needed a rest, like you said.
Yep. And that was nice.
You're like, Pablo sucks because he won't sub out our good players.
Well, I'm more worried about
He
Chicho.
subbed Luna early.
I'm more worried about Chicho because if Chicho goes down,
I hear you.
But who's going to be captain if Chicho goes out?
well, if Glad's not hurt,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to have your captain in there.
That's I think
Captain
the
goes
point.
down with the ship.
Yeah, I think Arango is our best player because there's such a big drop off after he leaves.
Oh yeah.
With Gomez, there's a guy that can step in and be a formidable backup to that and be, 70% as dangerous. But with Chicho, it's like, no, it's dropping off a lot when we pull him out. So
yeah, and then we did have some early subs. In the 73rd minute, Palacio came in for Ojeda. That was a nice early sub. Quinton came in for Catranis. So kind of good sub getting Catranis out. I thought he played well. Mm-hmm. And then 82nd minute, you saw Julio in for Crooks and Chang in for Barajas.
Now, on their side, they subbed Barlow in for Jimenez, and
Jimenez for Barlow
is the guy who came in for Navarro, right?
Yeah.
He only played like 12 minutes, 14 minutes?
Yeah.
And, they didn't even mention that in the broadcast.
That's
how good they are, those broadcasters.
Did they? Yeah, I think they kind of.
Okay.
They did you wrong, man.
I think I turned it down. I think I turned the volume way down and started talking to some people after that because I was like, come on, son. You guys are dorks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I seemed like RSL was never in danger. At least that's the way it felt. I could be wrong, but I thought that Chicago was just kind of not mailing it in. I mean, they're professional athletes, but we could talk about the goal, the fourth goal.
Well, do you know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears, Brennan?
No offense to Diego Luna, but our boy, Mikhail Chang, he ran his heart out. Okay? He doesn't get much playing time. And when he gets out there, it's almost like he's running a 100-meter sprint. And Diego Luna had ample amount of time to hook up our boy, Mikhail Chang, and really help him out in the goal department. Wide open on the right, easy pass, easy setup, and he's a ball hog. He's a ball hog. I'm just saying, yeah, we get it. You can score, Diego.
What?
We get it.
Are you talking about the goal?
Yeah, I mean, Diego, you can score. It's somewhat open, but your boy Michael Chang is putting in all that work. He's 32. He's about to retire because that's so old.
Needs oxygen after the game.
Yeah, holy cow! Are his knees okay?
We had so many chances before that. It should have been 5.
Oh yeah,
5
like the one where,
6.
remember the play where Luna broke in behind? And Tehran was running him down and ran him over from behind.
I don't know how that wasn't called.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Because that was from behind, it wasn't shoulder to shoulder.
No, it was not shoulder to shoulder.
So why didn't VAR get it?
That is a great question. And guess what? If you go watch Instant Replay, which I am changing the name officially from Instant Replay to Defend the Refs. Because that's all he did the whole time in this week's edition was defend the refs. There were 2 challenges. I was like, dude, come on, son. Because he's like, did you see Klaus against
Kansas City?
Where he just blew up. And he even went extended his arm out after.
It was
just blew the dude up.
Shoulder to shoulder, but he was going 80 miles an hour.
And he was going this way, and he was going that way, and the dude just went flying, and it should have been an easy foul to call because it was too
aggressive.
Much.
Yeah.
But it was our boy from Utah that was the ref, and he just let it go, play on, and then they scored a goal 4 passes later. But
but it couldn't happen to a nicer club.
Yeah, and then
Kansas City.
And then on this play, he's like, "Well, Luna was in front, but he stuck his arm out. So what? It doesn't matter if he sticks his arm out when he's running. The guy ran him over from behind. It should have at least been a foul.
Mm-hmm. And could have been
because
a dog
it was from behind, you could make the case that it was a dog so, which is denial of obvious goal scoring opportunity for those of you that don't speak soccer like we do. But yeah, he was away. And they're like, Tehran's super fast. He would have caught him. Yeah, he would have. But he didn't. And he challenged for the ball from behind. It should have been a red.
Do you know what they need to do? Our viewers need to go to Reddit and tell us, do you think that was a foul? And also tell us what we need to do in our podcast. Not what we need to do. That's terrible. Tell us how we're doing.
There you go. Much better.
I missed the Reddit.
Anyway, I think we had like 5 or 6 really good chances, and Subadin Julio and Subadin Chang kind of accelerated it.
Mm-hmm.
The game like stepped up again in the 82nd minute when we pulled out Crooks and Barajas. And then like we should have scored 3 or 4 times before.
Julio
Luna
can't
actually
shoot,
did.
man. Julio can't shoot.
I know.
I don't.
That's why I was so glad that Luna finally got his, right? Because I was like, Luna, just kick it in, dude.
Dude, does he not
They're
dribble
running
in
away
practice?
from you. They're making you just kick it in the goal
Yeah,
and
that
punish
was
them
some
for
pretty.
the poor defending they're doing right now.
Is that a good example of how not to defend? Aren't you supposed to pick up the player
Yeah,
with the ball?
you're supposed to go stop ball, but because we were also unselfish and kept trying to make these killer passes, they were just playing the pass, which set up Luna for a pretty easy goal.
Yeah.
And I think he needed it. Did you see his reaction? He ran over and gave
Yeah.
Pablo
Oh,
a
yeah.
hug. And
Yeah, it felt really
He's
good.
been working hard.
yeah, I really hope that
He's not a ball
helps.
hog. Sorry, that was a joke.
I really hope that turns him around, and I know you were joking about the ball hog thing.
Yeah.
Because we need Luna to be a monster out there like that. So,
Yeah, I would love to see RSL keep some of these players for a few seasons and develop them and send them on their way. Right? Go
Sure.
play in Europe. Go play where you want to play and make yourself valuable to the national team. Get on the national team and all of those other opportunities. And RSL to become this player generating team, developing team like they say they want to.
yeah.
I just want to be able to go on to Season Pass on Apple TV and have Real Salt Lake actually be like in the 3rd button. You know what I mean? No, I'm not expecting first. Miami has that. You know what I mean?
Well, turns out Apple's smart enough to be like, where's this coming from? Oh, right in the middle of Salt Lake, Utah. Maybe they want to watch a Real game. Maybe not. Here's another game that's close, Colorado. You want to watch that one? San Jose's not that far off, but I always get messy. Which I get.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah. I just want
come on, son.
Well, we're just not that big of a market.
But I think with the way Chicho is playing, and he's getting a lot of talk for early candidate for MVP, I think we're going to see if RSL keeps it up. Maybe you see this upcoming game between RSL and Philadelphia maybe become get a little more love, a little more highlight, a little more attention from Apple.
Okay. What is your bet
My
for
bet is that
for the next game? What's the score going to be?
the next
Prediction.
game in Philly,
Yeah.
in West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I didn't laugh at that, though.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't funny.
All right. Well, I'm going to say it's going to be 2-2. We're going to squeak out of there with a point.
Well, we do play pretty good on the road. So I will go with 3-3.
One up at me. And you're going to say 3-1.
44.
Somebody's going to win.
I think it is contingent. If we have our regular center backs, then I can see getting a draw, getting a result out of Philadelphia. But if it's a rotated side like this, if they throw Beavers in again, if they've got Quinton in and maybe Hidalgo, I think that's a really tall order. I think RSL. I'm coming around to Real Salt Lake being better than I thought they would be, but this might be
One of our New York trips of the past years.
it could be a New York game. I think Philadelphia.
So you're going to say 6-0?
No. I think
7.
it's a 2-0 Philly or something like that.
Okay, 2-0, 0 faith in RSL. That would be Brandt.
No,
Hey, we got to have a let-off game at some point,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Can't-
0 faith.
you can try, but you can't win them all, right, Arsenal?
So you're going to give your orange slice to Acosta?
yes,
second half?
he was the best player on their team for us.
Absolutely.
We just walked right past that guy. I don't know how he's still on the national team, honestly.
Really? He's
I was
on the
watching
national
him
team?
play, and I was like, how does he still get call-ups?
Haji Wright's doing good, though.
Oh, yeah, that kid did good.
Coventry,
We'll talk about that,
yeah.
yeah.
So the game ends 4-0 And what time is? Oh, we should look at the scores from around
Orange slice
the
for the second
league.
half, dude.
Oh, we need orange slice for the second half. We haven't done
Yeah.
that before.
We're doing it now.
We're doing
All
it
right,
now because we're in
orange
segments.
slice.
Orange slice
for the second half.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
Go ahead, Brennan.
I'm gonna give it to Michael Chang, man. He comes in and he's setting up a high pace. You know, he's willing to run as much as possible. That's what you want in a late sub. You want a late sub that's willing to work. I think Palacio's a little bit more reserved, and we've seen him come out, and honestly, he doesn't put in that extra effort. Wow, my talking is so boring. You both.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Old guys.
No,
Old guys.
yeah, like
Oh, that's what it is.
You know, past my
Old
bedtime.
guys.
Yeah, it's
What
we're
about you,
recording
Tyler?
late tonight.
Yeah, I know. 8
yeah,
p.m.
I'm gonna go with Palacio because Brennan said he sucks.
He doesn't suck. I'm just saying in the past he's acted. He's gotten into that lull of like I'm only going to work as hard as I need.
No. I'm gonna go with Mr. P. Quinton.
Oh, I was going to say that because I thought you were
Really?
serious.
Oh, okay. No, I think good old Quentin. Good old. He's been on the team like 9 minutes, and he's 6'6".
He's kind of a big guy.
It's kind of a big.
I heard
Good
your
one.
brother's a big guy too.
Yeah, he's a little bigger than me. But no, I think he did a great job calming things down in the back, and I think he'll get the start next week. Might as well. He's young. Play him. Let's see what he can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the way he was kind of barking out orders too. Like,
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of bossing things around in the back, talking to people. He's 24 years old, so you know, super
Ready to go.
old. Yeah.
second half, I will give mine to, since you stole it.
Julio.
No, not
Dang.
Julio.
Oh, shoot.
I'm
I
going to give it
thought
to
for
Diego
sure.
Luna. I think Diego Luna came in. He bodied off some players. I thought he was trying to be more of a presence. Thought it was the best stint he's had all season.
Yep.
I agree with that.
And congratulations on the goal, Diego. You deserved it. You earned it. So, final score, RSL 4-0 over the Chicago. Holy crap, they're bad. At least on the night, fire.
Yeah. Yep.
Do we want to get to
Good
scores
stuff.
around the league?
Do we? I don't know. Let's ask Reddit.
I don't know, Reddit.
Oh wait, we can't.
Hola, Reddit.
Some interesting games. Atlanta lost 1-2 to Cincy. Columbus and Portland. Portland seems to be
Ooh, wow.
pulling things together 2-2. Miami thumped Nashville 3-1. Montreal and Orlando 2-2 draw. NYCFC 2-0 over DCU. Toronto 1-0 over New England. They're struggling, but they have that head coach Caleb Porter, who couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Not a fan. Houston lost late
Oh wow.
to Austin. Austin, I've heard pundits say keep an eye on Austin. Kansas City and St. Louis 3-3. That was a nice throwdown. Colorado, surprise, 15
Wow.
points. 2-1 over FC Dallas, who is struggling. LAFC 2-2 over Red Bull New York. That was quite the game.
Good one to see. Yeah.
Seattle lost to Vancouver, who is 1 point ahead of RSL in second. RSL's in third. And the Galaxy, I watched this game, the Classico, I think they call it.
The California Classico.
Galaxy versus San Jose. The Galaxy were doing everything in their power to give that game away.
Oh yeah.
They
Weren't they
almost
up?
did.
They were up 4-0, right?
3-0. They're up
3-0.
3-0, and then it was 3-1.
3-2, and then it was
No, it was 3-1, then 4-1, then 4-2,
4-3.
and then
Yeah, because they
4-3.
scored 3
They also-
goals
didn't they get a
before
red
the
card?
30th minute. Yeah.
They got a late red card. They
Yeah.
were running 10 men.
Against Abobasi in the
That was a great
72nd
game.
minute.
That was a really entertaining game.
Yeah, I watched
Oh,
it.
dude, Pui.
I love Ricky Pooge. That kid is a player.
He's fun to watch, if nothing
He's only
else.
like 24 or something like that, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's
young.
pretty young.
I was trying to see when that red card was.
Yeah, it was
70th
70th minute.
It was,
Fumble it.
it was a dog though, right?
Yeah, he pulled down Abobasi in the box.
Yeah, they got the
Oh
PK.
yeah, that's right. And then what does a Bubba
It's a
wear?
net guard.
For
Concussions.
Yeah.
It helps with concussions and vertebrae falling out of place or something.
And Minnesota, I watched most of that as well. They thumped Charlotte 3-0. And I was looking at the stadium at Charlotte. I was like, man, there's nobody there. But then I looked at the stadium, and they play in the football stadium, so there's 70,000 seat stadium. They probably had 30,000 people there at the game.
Just hard to tell.
Just hard to tell. But Minnesota really, really looked good. They've got a new coach. They signed from
England.
Manchester United.
Oh, who did they get?
Chris Armas?
No. Chris Armas is used to coach Toronto, isn't he? And he's in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Eric something, I believe.
Eric Ten Hag?
Eric Ramsey?
Oh, I was going to say, you can take Eric Ten Hag.
Eric Zavaleta? Just kidding.
No.
He's the guy that gave it that PK.
Oh, okay. Tyler, will you hit pause on the recording?
We will
No.
find it.
It's Ramsey.
Yeah,
Ramsey.
Ramsey. That's what I said.
Ramsey.
Jason Ramsey. Something.
He's a beast in the kitchen, from what I hear.
Yeah, he just yells at him.
Dude.
You donkey.
I've been watching Ramsey for a while now. I've been watching Hell's Kitchen. I've been watching Next Level Chef. Have you seen Next Level Chef? You
I
gotta
haven't
watch
seen
it.
that one yet.
You got to watch it. There's 3 levels. It's fantastic.
I love good cooking show.
Yeah.
I love Beat Bobby Flay.
You know what I hate
hate
about
Bobby
cooking
Flay.
shows?
I like the show though.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I hate about cooking shows?
You can actually never taste the food.
Yeah.
And they always explain it in the exact same way every single time.
And it's like, that sounds so good. And I'm never going to make that.
Every show makes me want to try duck. Like every time they're like, "Oh, this duck
You know
is
what
just
show makes
incredible."
me wanna try Duck Dynasty.
Is that still on?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But I like the
That's an
cooking
old
shows
person
because they
joke,
just
sorry.
throw stuff in there like, hey, I can do that. I can just throw stuff together.
Oh, they're like, I got to throw in an onion and a radish. Yeah, no problem.
yeah,
It'll
well,
elevate
that's
my
what-
dish.
So those were the scores. And now it's time for the
Come on, Crawley.
kind of. It's
Womp, womp,
yeah, it is kind of frustrating. We had the playoffs in our hands. It was all up to us. We controlled our destiny.
And
Us?
then Wrexham got in the way.
No, we kind of had some results that haven't gone our way that we should have done. We lost to Colchester at home, and they are at the bottom. They're fighting relegation.
Oh, really?
Then we played Barrow at home,
Oh, and they leapfrogged
1-1 draw.
the wheelbarrows.
We were right behind them. If we'd have beat them, we'd have gone ahead of them. And then we had Sutton away, and we drew 2-2 on Saturday.
Oh.
We had a winning goal called back. There's no way it was offside. We should have had the winning goal in the 90-plus 8th minute. But instead, we drew 2-2. So now, if you look at the standings, where's the standings, Tyler?
13?
Stockport, Mansfield, Wrexham, MK Dons, Crew Alexander, Wheelbarrow, and then your Crawley Town FC are tied with Doncaster on points, but they have the tiebreaker.
There are 5 teams fighting for the last few places, 5th and 6th. So if Crew Alexander loses and Crawley wins, they could have 70 points. So 5th, 6th, and 7th are still in play for Crew Alexander, Barrow, Crawley, Doncaster, and Walsall.
Wow.
But, so those
Small outside chance. They'll never
Yeah.
make it. Stupid Walsall.
So
Stupid.
so we'll know Saturday. Actually, we could know Tuesday. Tuesday could be a big game because Barrow and Doncaster both have a game in hand, and they play 2 different teams on Tuesday. And if they win, that could be really tough. We'll have to get a lot of results on Saturday. But if they draw or lose, then it all comes down to Saturday. But we're not out of it, even if they win. But it will be much harder. But all in all, it has been an amazing season. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to still getting to Wembley and getting promoted to League One. Right? That's going to happen.
It's gonna happen in our lifetime. It will happen.
What? You guys.
I'm not saying anything.
So,
But if you're watching on video, I'm voting with my head.
it's gonna be tough. If we'd have picked up one of those games, if two
is
more
good.
points, 2 more points out of the games would have been just amazing. But it's been incredible. A lot of fun.
Speaking of points being amazing, are you ready for the
Yes.
Come On Arsenal update?
I think it's called the Let's Go Gunners.
The Gunner update of the day. The Gunners lost. in the Champions League. And pretty much all of England crashed out of the Champions League within 2 days of each other.
Except for one.
Villa.
Yeah, Aston Villa.
Yeah, Villa hung on. Stupid Villa. They beat Arsenal last time, too. And Arsenal went top of the table, but Man City has not played as many games as them.
They play on Thursday, I believe, Man City.
Yeah, and Arsenal plays again tomorrow. So the matches played thing's going to be off for a few weeks, for a week or two before they finish up, because they only play 38 games with 20 teams in the league. And
Is
they
Pep
play each
Guardiola
team
the
twice.
most whiny, annoying coach out there? Did you hear him
Yes.
crying about we had to play on Saturday or something with the FA
with
Cup
the-
semifinal?
And so they lost to Real Madrid in the Champions League, which, you know what? They way outplayed Real Madrid. Real Madrid just scored 3 goals and they scored 2. Like, yeah, come on, say something about how football sucks sometimes. Say something about how it's a beautiful game, but sometimes you're on the losing end. Even as the behemoths that are Manchester City, even with all the oil money in the world, you can't buy wins. Something like that, right? Say something like that people can like get behind. But no, he just complains about scheduling.
Yeah, and they had the big news coming out of the FA where they eliminated replays in the FA Cup. Do you guys know what those are? So if they have the play a game in the FA Cup and it ends in a draw, then they don't go to extra time.
Nope.
They don't go to penalty
They
kicks.
replay the whole game.
They replay the whole game, and most of the time, the replay benefits the smaller club because they play well enough at home. They get a big team in. If they get a draw, when they play the replay, it's at the larger club's place.
Right.
So then they get a larger payout.
Right.
So the FA came out and said that the Premier League teams are just playing way too many games, and they don't play as many games as League 2, League 1, because Championship, League 2, League 1 play 46 games.
Wow.
Just regular games. That doesn't include if they're playing in the FA Cup or if they're playing in the other trophies.
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup, or there's different cups they play in. So
The Caribou Cup. Oh, sorry.
big backlash against the FA for not even consulting the other leagues. They just
said it like across
It's
the board.
Premier League.
yeah.
Well, it's good overall.
I agree.
It's good.
The other leagues suck.
Yeah.
Take that, other leagues.
And then they had the big controversy
In
with
the FA Cup?
the FA Cup other semifinal. Coventry, which everyone on the planet was rooting for, the championship side,
Except for Brennan.
playing against Manchester United.
How'd that go, Brennan? Tell us what happened.
We squeaked by.
Weren't they up 3-0? I checked the score. It was 3-0.
Yeah, and then it wasn't anymore, and they even had fans leaving. Did you see that?
Did they?
They're trying to get back in. So,
Really?
like, Man United fans got so pissed they started to leave, and then they tried to come back in when they went to penalties. And, I thought it was hilarious. And we barely squeaked by. Coventry
Toenail.
Coventry deserved to win that in all regards, I think. But, yeah, it's tough love right now for Erik ten Hag. Tuchel, or whatever, that coach, apparently is in the works of becoming the new Man United. Tuchel, yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's apparently
Gosh.
in talks right now. And then,
Tomas.
yeah.
The Bayern Munich coach?
The
You
guy that was
formerly
at
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're in talks
It's
with that.
recycling, Brandt. That's
It
all they
is.
do with coaches. They
Thomas Tuchel,
reduce, reuse, and recycle.
If he takes over
Oh, it's-
Manchester United, they are going to get relegated.
I 1,000% agree.
That would be hilarious. I mean, not for you.
Tuchel, I mean,
But then also, so there was also another thing that happened after the final penalty shot. Anthony got caught doing, what was he doing? He did something
Throwing gang signs?
where like he did this or something. I
Whiny
can't-
baby, something?
being disrespectful.
He was being disrespectful, and the guy hasn't contributed a goal. Like, the dude is not, like, he should not be doing.
Wait,
Oh no,
you're talking
he shushed
Anthony?
him. I think.
Oh,
I think he shushed him.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny though because you watch.
Coventry fans? Because they're the...
No, the Coventry players, because you know how they stand on the half line
Oh, really?
and they watch. after that goal goes in, Anthony runs to the goal and turns to him and does this.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, or like gestures to his ear or something like that. I think it was his ear.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, and what's funny is at the exact same time, Maguire turns and starts giving him handshakes. Like, dude, like the contrast
like, have
between
some
these
class, bro.
these two players, like the
Yeah.
guy who gets the most heat in the entire league,
Right.
is still man enough to just be like, hey, good job, guys. And then the guy who's got like an assault case that's being trying to push under the rug, he's not contributing anything into the team, and he's way overpaid, is the one doing the immature acts.
Yeah.
Like, that's how far Man U is right now in the.
They're just divided, you might say, in their approach.
And they came close to. It was kind of like the Crawley goal, where just barely offside. Or Coventry had a winning goal, right?
I've seen a lot of
Coventry
complaints about that because the guy was even. But when you slow it down and, like, and here's the problem, like, there's problems with VAR, right?
Well, like Nottingham
Especially
Forest
with the
and
line that you draw.
Yeah.
Who was the other team? I forgot. Everton. Yeah.
Because as good as cameras are, they can't tell the instant the ball is touched,
Yeah.
right?
It's a huge issue.
And so, like, if it's here or, like, your foot's partway through it, it's just the frame of the camera.
Yeah.
So you have to take the frame where you first have the frame being touched by the ball, and that's when you draw the line. Well, I mean, gosh, that's very imprecise.
Imprecise, even though you're trying to get as much precision out of the equipment that you're
Correct.
using. Because if they're going to draw the lines and be like, oh, you are a shade off.
You got to go back to when
but
he's
then
kicking it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a huge.
And that's why I
issue
kind of
with
liked. I didn't like it initially, but I like the way MLS does it. Like, close enough.
Yeah.
Play on. Or like, oh, yep, he's very off. He's off. Call him off. Raise the flag. Whatever. Like,
You
if it's
don't have
obvious,
to-
call him off. If not, just keep playing.
You don't have to bring out the protractor and the
Right.
laser and
No.
the laser pointer.
But you got to feel for Nottingham Forest, man. They got gypped.
Yes, they are probably going to investigate. They sent a letter. They're complaining
Coventry
because
No. Nottingham Forest and
Nottingham
Everton.
Forest.
What happened?
I haven't seen the replays, but I've heard all the controversy. They had the VAR guy, and Nottingham Forest told the league, the people in charge, that the guy that you have assigned for VAR is a Luton Town fan. And so the Luton
okay.
Town fan guy is over
they're just
VAR, and they
above
had
Luton Town.
three questionable calls.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Like handball where the guy chicken winged it, right?
Yep.
Chicken winged it, stuck it out, and that
Yeah.
wasn't called as a penalty. So
Was Luna away on goal and got ran over from behind for them, too?
I don't know. Yeah, but
Something like that?
yeah, because I think the VAR for our game, Joe Dickerson, he is a
LA
Chicago
Galaxy.
fan. Chicago.
Yeah.
No.
So one thing I did want to bring up though was across the league there was a couple of games where the referee was like a football ref where he was announcing what the call was.
Oh, yeah.
Dave,
The rule change went into effect.
Yeah.
we didn't talk about that.
That was something
That's our
that
next segment.
This is our next segment.
Hey, this is our new segment where we talk about rule changes.
In the ref side. Anyways, really, really cool. I love it that they're actually putting words to what's happening instead of people learning what fingers are doing and all that signal
Wasn't
stuff.
that great?
It was nice. I think we're one step closer to being able to be a part of the conversation, which I think would really bring a lot more fans into the game, especially on the MLS side, to just really love it because we don't know what happens. Things get a little schemy, it feels like, when VAR is involved and things aren't clear. So, like, if we could hear that conversation, I think we're in the right direction.
Yeah, and I liked how the one was like, hey, there was a clear foul on so-and-so. Final decision is a red card. You're off, Regan, and off we go.
yeah.
We go. Like I like this short, quick explanation. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really good. They'll be doing the 10-second rule to get off the field, I think.
Oh, I thought that was if you dropped your food on the floor, you had 10 seconds to pick
that's
it
a
up.
5-second rule.
Oh,
But the 10-second rule, and then also the
It used to be 10
2-minute
seconds,
rule.
then
If,
COVID happened, and
if-
now it's 5 seconds.
if you're injured, you have to be off the field for 2 minutes. I think those were the three main
Oh,
changes.
did they implement that all the way?
I think those are also implemented, but we'll find out for sure. But definitely the VAR chatting with the ref was implemented, so that'll be good.
Cool. Bring it.
So, Anything else? What do we want to talk about? Anybody that you saw that really wants to sponsor our program?
Oh, yeah, Brennan Steinekert. He was down at the grid, Pleasant Grove, carving up the course, going 40 miles an hour. Drives a nice Chevy, nice white truck. But I was too scared to say what's up to him because he was in his very nice hugging people and saying bye to friends and stuff. And so I was like, I'm not going to introduce myself.
I did that to Nick Raimondo once.
Really?
I saw him and I was like, hey, waved awkwardly at him like this. Because I didn't know if he saw me, so like I started to just go like
the tall bald guy in the room.
I was like, it's like slow motion wave. It got awkward, so I'm like, I don't even dare talk to him now. Stupid, gosh, dang it. So I just tried to head nod him, and then wasn't sure he was even looking my way, and then I just went like this. Oh, hung my head in shame. Oh. I did. I felt like Napoleon Dynamite.
I'll never be Nick's friend.
I don't really get like starstruck. Like, I've never been like.
I don't normally either.
But I'm definitely not one to just like interject and be like, yo, what's up? I just can't do that. I don't know why. Because if I was in that position, I wouldn't like somebody like, I'm like talking to my buddy and they're like, dude, what's up, dude? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but if you've been on our podcast, especially more than once, I think they're fair game.
I still don't think he would have knew who I was.
Fair game.
You know what I mean?
Brennan.
I'm Brennan. You talk to my dad. You talk to my dad. Hi. Hey, Dad.
You talk to him. Come on.
But yeah, go and support Ghost Pickleball.
Yeah, get yourself a pickleball shirt, pickleball paddle. Go out on the court, break your femur, be like all those other senior citizens, and break it down. I hate pickleball so much.
Well, we played it on Saturday. Well, you played it on Saturday. I watched.
Yeah, what's that about, man?
Did you do all right?
Watching?
Yeah, why don't you just get out there?
I didn't see
his other
any
son
emergency
gets married.
personnel.
Oh, yeah.
His
I
other
did
son
not
got
see
married.
any emergency personnel.
So the guy with the mustache that he was trying to get Crawley people to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
And generally
they were playing pickleball.
Generally on the dance floor, the family dances, right?
Okay.
Generally. And this dude was the most awkwardness I've ever felt. Ever.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Oh. I'm like trying to get you to come out and just be like, hey, come support your son who's getting married.
Yeah,
and your
just stand by me and
the daughter-in-law who said, come dance.
Ooh.
And,
well, that's what happens when you marry into an introverted family.
Yeah.
And what'd you do? You just...
I went out there
he
for
stood.
a few... I got up.
He stood
I
for like 3 seconds.
Okay.
Jiggled around a little bit.
It was like the junior high dance where people just stood in a circle.
The truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
You did the truffle shuffle.
You got me out there. I gave it a go, and yes, I don't know how to dance. All right, fine.
It's okay.
All my moves are 30 years old. So.
Hey, classics.
Yeah.
I was going to pop and lock, but my hip went out.
Popped his lock.
Oh, man.
All right. So anything else?
No, let's go.
All right. I'm sure
Go on to Reddit. Please.
No.
Just bash us. I don't care.
No,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
I would love it.
Instagram,
all of the socials.
We're on YouTube twice now because our YouTube podcast, Google Podcast, is now YouTube Podcast. So
that's why there's sometimes there's videos, sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go to the one that shows the video.
That's way more fun.
So
but
follow
you can
us.
Also just listen to us if you want.
Follow us and subscribe on YouTube. Go to Goals TV. There are a lot of great across the league podcasts for all the other teams on Goals TV. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X,
not
Twitter.
Facebook, not Facebook.
You can follow us on Twitter.
Just get off of that Facebook.
And Facebook. Facebook's the best, man.
Really? You're all meta and stuff?
I was wondering, we haven't got around to getting that MySpace page up. But we could do that.
That's right. You haven't listed your
totally
music.
should.
That's the problem. There's too much music.
We should
for
do an
this
emo
MySpace.
version of our podcast and do a MySpace version.
We'll do a MySpace. No taking MySpace on the way. So anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Joe.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. Join Brandt, Tyler, and Brennan every week wherever you get your podcasts. Share with your soccer-loving friends, download, subscribe, rate, and follow. You can find them on Twitter at RSL Random Fan and at RSL Random Fan Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. You can also reach out via email at rslrandomfanpodcast@yahoo.com. Thank you for listening.